You can feel the energy inside this building and also across the street. The NFL Draft has finally arrived.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
And so it is. The assumed is really happening.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the People's GM channel, and I am the People's GM. Now, if you don't know, what we do here is we take over your favorite professional sports franchises as a general manager. We make the moves that we all know they should make. They probably won't make, but again, we're out here just making these teams better, helping them win championships. Now, this week, working our way up to the NFL Draft, we're doing all 32 NFL teams thanks to PFF's NFL Mock Draft Simulator. Right now, starting off the AFC South. So, number one overall pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. 1-15. Let's dive right in. Gardner Minshew, again, a guy that I think has probably received a little bit of harsh criticism over the last couple years. I mean, look at what he's had to work with, which ain't much. But that being said, we know there's a generational talent coming out, and so we're going to be addressing that quarterback position early. James Robinson, super fun little surprise running back out of Illinois State last year. Look at that, 4.5 yard average with a bad offensive line, 7 touchdowns, 1,000-yard rusher for them. Super fun. They let Fournette go. We thought they were kind of throwing in the towel, but apparently not. So running back is an area where we'll see if we can maybe build some depth for him, but not bad. So quarterback, running back, again, this is a team that's got a lot of holes. Spoiler alert, they're not a year away. They're not this one draft away. So we're also going to see, can we trade back? Can we get some draft capital this year as well as for years down the road? Offensively, we're going to look to continue to build out that wide receiver position, see if we can't find a difference maker at tight end, build that offensive line out. They've got a couple players, Jawan Taylor, Cam Robinson. They've got some young guys they're going to take a look at and see if they're really going to be their long-term starters, but we want to continue to build that depth and competition. Defensively, again, got work to do up front. Josh Allen's great. Outside of that, we've got work to do. Linebacker, same kind of story. Miles Jack is a contributor. Shaquille Griffin at corner. We've got C.J. Henderson. We've got some players, but again, there's just so many holes on this team. What we're going to do is go into this draft and just try to get better. That being said, let's get right into it. First pick. We also have the 25th pick. Let's go. No shock here. The pick is in. His name's Trevor Lawrence. He's a generational talent. So we're scooping up the number one pick. Bing, bong, boom. We're going to be back on the clock at 25. Let's see what else is available out there. So here we are at pick 25. Man, bunch of good options here. We've got Caleb Farley, really top 2, top 3 corner. We've got Kwity Paye, top 3 defensive end. Jason Owa, top 3 defensive end. Walker Little, top 3 tackle. Jalen Phillips, again, top 5. Terrence Marshall, top 5. Lot of options, but what are we going to do here? We're going to take just a little peek and see what the trade options are. Now, the Green Bay Packers want to jump up and get somebody. Now, here's what's great for us. When we look at dropping down, these are all guys we like. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players that we would love that would come in and be starters for us. So let's see if we can't do what we do, extract some capital out of these guys. So let's say we give them the 25th. We're going to need the 29th. We're going to need the 62nd, and we're going to need a second round next year. We like to get that 3-for-1 if you watch the channel. They didn't go for it. Let's go third rounder. Second rounder is probably a little intense. Okay, let's keep moving back. Let's see what they say. Okay, now they didn't like that. Let's go this round. There it is, 3-for-1 draft capital this year. Would have loved to get an extra pick next year, but that's okay. We've got 3 more picks inside the top 100, and they're moving up 4 spots. So let's resume the draft. Now let's take a little jump back and see what they were after. They were after Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech, Aziz Ujiri, defensive end out of Georgia. Walker Little went to the Ravens, who are desperately in need of a tackle. Sante Samuel Jr. went to the New Orleans Saints. That is okay. You want to know why? Because again, now PFF is saying we need quarterback, which we've addressed. So really we need tight ends, tackles, and safeties. I would say we need tight ends, tackles, safeties, corner depth. We need offensive line depth. We need wide receivers. We need picks all over the field. Now, got some great options here at defensive end, as well as Terrence Marshall, great wide receiver value here, especially at 29, and Raduns, the tackle out of North Dakota State. Now, Giants want us to drop to 42. Unfortunately, that's just too far. We're not interested. Let's take a look at what we've got. So again, we've got Kwity Paye, defensive end out of Michigan, Jason Owa, defensive end out of Penn State, Jalen Phillips, defensive end out of Miami. But these are really where we've got to take some time and really decide. We just invested in a generational quarterback. That being said, the pick is in. We're taking Dylan Raduns, 6'6", 299 pounds, out of North Dakota State. Dominated at his level, makes a ton of sense, did great. We're scooping him up. We're putting him at that left tackle for the next 12 years and protecting our giant investment, which is Trevor Lawrence. Now, right back on the clock at 33. Let's see what they have in terms of trade offers. Dolphins want us to move back to 36, so let's take a look. Now, again, here's what's great. We're interested in all 4 of these guys, all 5 of these guys right here are all worthy of our pick right now. Zaven Collins, linebacker, come in immediately. Elijah Molden, the safety, would start for us. Terrence Marshall would work right into that wide receiver core right next to DJ Chark and Marvin Jones, as well as Jason Owen and Kwity Paye, which we've talked about. But let's see if the Dolphins are willing to pay the price, which is, as always, got to get that draft capital, got to get at least that 3-for-1. Let's see what they say. They didn't love that. That's okay. Let's go 3-for-1 this year. Still didn't like it. I think last trade offer, San Francisco 3rd round, 36 and 50 to move those 3 spots back. They didn't love it. Okay, let's try one more. 4th rounder next year. Still didn't take it. Let's try 156, 36, and 50. But again, we've got to get that 3-for-1. There it is. We keep working. We got to get that draft capital. Again, 2 picks to move back 3, or 3 picks to move back 3. Makes a ton of sense for us. Now let's take a look and see who they were so interested about. Jason Owa, defensive end out of Penn State. That's great. Good for them. Samuel Cosme, tackle out of Texas, and the safety there. Good news is still a bunch of our top picks that we like are right there. So that being said, the pick is in. We're not moving here. We're taking Terrace Marshall Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. Look at this production. 7 games, 48 reception, 15.2 yard average, 10 touchdowns, and that's with a black hole of quarterbacks there at LSU this year. 6'3", 200, great addition to this offense. Gives a toy to our boy Trevor Lawrence. Let's go. Now, right back on it. Again, we've been saying it. We're not a year away. That's a reality. We're not a year away. Now, we want to drop back 8 picks. They're going to have to give us 3 in the top 100. Let's see what they say. They didn't like it. Let's go here. If they don't like that, that's it. We're out. So, now, again, we've got some great options here. Carlos Basham Jr., again, another explosive edge rusher. Could really help us down the road, as well as Jamin Davis. Again, a guy that is going to be special at that linebacker position. Now, an interesting possibility here, though, are 2 things. Landon Dickerson is a center out of Alabama. Tore his ACL. Not going to be back, right? Not going to be back for this year, or definitely not the first half of this year. So this is a guy that shouldn't be available, frankly, at pick 45, but he is, again, because of that injury. Now, we also have Jamar Johnson, probably ranked the top 2 or 3 safety. Now, again, don't love seeing these grades going down, but again, graceful athlete, great hips, love that. Missed tackle rate's a little bit high, right? So doesn't have a ton of experience, hasn't played in a ton of games, but there's what it is. Coverage skill set that everybody wants. So this is a guy who can cover people. We've got to get better in that back end. We've got to get better all over the field. Again, he's a guy that's going to have to continue to develop. Carlos Basham is probably the only guy that's going to kind of slide right in right away. That being said, the pick is in. We are going to go need. We're taking Jamar Johnson, safety, out of Indiana. Now we're right back at it. Here's what's great. Landon Dickerson still available. We've got Javonte Williams, halfback out of North Carolina. That could be a great backup. We've got Jackson Carman, another tackle. That could be great. Let's take a look at tight end as well. So we got Tommy Tremble, who's really a blocking tight end. Could help in the run game. Hunter Long, a little bit more well-balanced. Brevin Jordan, kind of a hybrid guy. So we've got some tight end options, which, again, we know we want to address. But frankly, the pick is in. Landon Dickerson, we're looking at 2022 and beyond. This is just too good a value to pass up for us here. Now, we're right back on the top. We're right back on the clock. Let's take a look again at these areas of need. So we're going to look at tight end, and we're going to look at tackle as well and see what we've got. So we've got some great players here on the big board. Again, this is one of those positions where we've got another pick coming up at 65, first pick of the third round. So we really got to see what makes sense here. Now, again, we've got 3 tackles we're interested here. Tommy Tremble is good tight end, but again, Hunter Long's really that well-balanced guy. And with that being said, the pick is in. It is Hunter Long, tight end out of Boston College. He's going to help us in the run game. He's going to catch some balls. It's going to be great. Now, again, we're back at 65. We want to continue to address that offensive tackle position. Man, great news. Brady Christensen, tackle out of BYU. 6'6", 300 pounds. Maybe he's a guard, right? Doesn't really matter. He's a guy that's going to come in and compete for that offensive line. That being said, the pick is in. We're getting another starter. Brady Christensen, tackle out of BYU. Now, we've still got 7 picks left in the draft. We got to continue to just build out this team, right? We just want to continue to get better. Let's take a look at the trade offers. They want us to move from 92 to 103. I would say they'd have to give us a lot of capital to do that. Let's see if they're silly enough to do that. No, they're not. How about a 5th rounder? Let's check that out. There it is. Let's go. Another bamboozlement. We're going 3 for 1. We're moving back, yeah, but again, there's a ton of guys we're interested in. We got some draft capital again for next year. It just makes sense. Okay, we got Urban Meyer. He's excited. Let's see what we can do to help him out. Now, they want us to drop to 120. That's not happening. Let's take a look at the board here and see what we've got. So we've got a couple of interesting prospects. Baron Browning, right? Physicals to Micah Parsons. Can he get smarter, right? Can he read and react better? This is a guy that's got to get coached up, but again, could be special at that linebacker position. Same thing with Chaz Surratt. Little one-dimensional style, right? Developmental project. So both these guys are guys that have that physical talent, but can they come along on that other side? Now, Patrick Johnson, edge rusher out of Tulane, interesting prospect here, right? High-level innate pass rushing talent, get the job done in the NFL. So clearly an NFL player, but what makes more sense here to build out? Does it make sense for us to go with that edge rusher, go with the linebacker, or go a different route? That being said, we've got another pick coming up in 3. The pick is in. We're taking Patrick Johnson, defensive end out of Tulane. Again, he's a special talent physically. We're going to coach him up, and he's going to be a contributor right away. Now, here we are. We're back we're at pick 106. The Falcons probably want to trade up and maybe get a running back here in front of the Jets. So let's see what they'd be willing to give up to move up 2 picks. Again, we love to get those bamboozles. Let's see what they're gonna do. Boom, there it is. 3 for 1 as usual. We are about that life. We move back 2. We're still gonna probably get our guy, which yes we are. The pick is already in here at 108. It is Dax Milne, right out of BYU. Again, a 6'1", 190, 3rd round grade on this kid, right? Here we are in the 4th. We're getting Dax Milne, great value. We're getting another receiver. We're getting talent at that wide receiver position for our boy, Trevor Lawrence. Now, again, we've still got, now we have 8 picks left, so we can really take our time and see what's out there. Now, Adebo, cornerback out of Stanford, interesting prospect. Again, 6'1", 190, length and ball skills, suit a zone, heavy scheme. Yeah, okay. Again, not a great tackler, but again, is he a guy? He's got the physical tangibles. Can we coach him up? Can he get better? Sean Wade, a little bit more polished, probably not as high a ceiling, right? But there it is. That's probably where he's going to end up, is safety, maybe nickel corner. Makes a ton of sense. Now, there's also another David Moore, another guard that we really like here. But let's take a look at safeties and see what else is out there. Now, we've already addressed safety once, but again, we want to make sure at this point we're just taking the best players available for us. Now, Deontay Brown is a good or an interesting prospect here, right? Gap scheme guard run through. If you're drafting him, it's for his work in the run game. Now, again, is this a guy we can coach up? We build out that offensive line. Again, David Moore out of Grambling State. A little bit more of a developmental project. 6'3", 320. Didn't get to play this year. No season. So again, Alabama, a little bit of an advantage there from that standpoint. Or do we take a Chasserot project kid, linebacker out of North Carolina, who could be special? That being said, the pick is in. We're going back to that offensive line. We're taking Deontay Brown. That's right, 2 guys off that Alabama offensive line. We're just going to slowly build that out. We've got to continue to get better. We've got to continue to protect our number 1 draft pick, Trevor Lawrence. Now, this is an easy one. I'm going to be real honest. The pick is in. We're taking Cameron McGrone, linebacker out of Michigan. This is a dude, speedy down who needs some development. That's fine. This is a kid who's going to put some weight on. He's going to immediately contribute in the nickel package, definitely as a special teams player. We're bringing him into the fold. We're getting players that are making us better. Now, another great thing, we've got Shaun Wade again, probably going to move to safety from corner. Again, this is one of those areas though where we can get a little bit more interesting, get a little different. Now, again, here's the thing, right? Brevin Jordan, who we talked about earlier at tight end, speed will play in the right schemes. He's like a jumbo running back, right? So lots of broken tackles. Contested catch rate isn't great. Drop rate's not great. Yards per run, that's fine. Receiving grade, pretty good. Run block grade's okay. So again, he's a guy, kind of a gadgety guy, right? Can we put him at some different positions? Griffin's going to be a starting cornerback in the NFL. It's one of those things where, he's just got to continue to get more consistent and get better. That being said, the pick is in. We're going to take Brevin Jordan here. We're going to continue to build out those offensive weapons for our guy Trevor and see what he says. Now, here we are right back on, and let's take a look at what we have available. Now, again, there's another wide receiver that's very interesting prospect, but probably not right here. We've got some more draft capital. Let's wait and see. Now, Jalen Mayfield is an interesting tackle prospect, right? Tools prospect. A lot to fix, but the payoff could be high. Again, this is where championships are made, right? This is where championship rosters are made, 5th round and beyond. That being said, let's take a look at the trade value and see if we can extract some good stuff. So Denver Broncos want to grab that 148 pick. We're going to say give us the 152 and a 5th rounder next year and a 6th rounder next year. It's a heavy toll, but we drive it home. Give us a 5, 6, 7. You can have it. Let's see what they say. Still don't like that. Okay. All right, let's see if maybe they go 5 and 6. There it is. Again, we've got to just continue to build that draft capital because we're not a year away. So this is one where we're giving up a spot, sure, but we're getting 2 picks next year. Allow us to make some moves and continue to get better. Right back on the clock. Here we are, pick 156. Griffin still available. Tutu Atwell, again, a speedy receiver. Kane Dow, interesting prospect, 6'7", 265, right? There's what it is. Extremely infrequent. So again, is this a guy that it's a motivation problem? Does he play slow? Again, another guy that's potentially a developmental guy, not necessarily a day one starter, but again, the upside could be huge. That being said, we're actually going to go a different direction. The pick is in. It's Rodarius Williams, a guy who's going to compete for that defensive backfield for us. Again, can't have too many corners, just like you can't have too many wide receivers. Kind of the same idea. Now, let's see what happened here. Okay, perfect. Okay, Tutu off the board. That makes sense. Elijah Griffin off the board. That makes a lot of sense. And Felton the halfback. Now, we've still got 3 picks left. Let's see if we can't get better. So, Jamian Sherwood, again, another guy, kind of tweener, right? Is he a safety? Is he one of those overhang linebackers? We're going to find out. The pick is in. We're taking Jamian Sherwood. Again, another player that we've got to see where they fit in. But again, this is where we're at in the draft. We got to try to find that top end value for what we're looking for. Again, we've got a roster that we've got to build from the ground up here, basically. Okay, we're 1-15. We got plenty of ways to go. Now, we could go ordinary, kind of go with one of these tackles. Again, both these guys, like kind of, just ceiling is low, ceiling's a little higher, but super developmental guy. We could go a halfback out of Mississippi State, physical tools, okay. Can he compete at that, right? Can he compete at that level? Well, let's go back to the depth chart. Again, we've got our starter in James Robinson. Carlos Hyde, kind of career backup, worth the risk. Let's go. Pick is in. Kylan Hill, halfback out of Mississippi State. Now, we're coming up on pick 249. Now, if you don't know, at the end of this, we're going to get individually graded on all these trades, all these picks. and then an overall grade from PFF. And here's what's great. The pick is right in. He's right at the top of our big board. Raymond Johnson III, Georgia Southern defensive end. Right there. He should be on an NFL roster. He was at Georgia Southern, didn't get the competition look. He's going to come in. We're going to let that guy compete like crazy, and we're going to get better. So let's go to the grades, see what they say. I'm feeling pretty stinking good about it. Let's go. No-brainer right up front. A+, of course. Trevor Lawrence, best player available, best quarterback available, plain and simple. Now, right off the bat, we took that second pick we had. We turned 1 into 3, as you know I love to do. Still got our tackle of the future. He's a plug-and-play guy. He's in right away. He's starting there for the next 10 years. Now, they didn't love that we took Terrence Marshall, but here's the deal. We've got Trevor Lawrence. We've got our tackle. We've got to get some weapons around him. So, again, long-term makes sense for us. They didn't love it at a B-, whatever. Jamar Johnson, again, great value at 45. Going to start for us at safety. A-. PFF doesn't love that we're looking long-term, but again, Landon Dickerson's a guy who's going to be special for us. So no, this isn't a 2021 pick. This is basically an early 2022 pick that we're getting here. We're going to get him in with the trainer. We're going to get him in with the doctor. We're going to get him healthy, and we're going to see him in 2022. Hunter Long, same thing. Really good player. Just going to improve that tight end depth. I mean, again, look at this. We got nobody there that's sticking out. He could be that guy. Help us in the run game. Help us in the pass game. Brady Christensen at 65. Again, such great value. Love that we were able to pick him up. He's going to come in and compete, potentially start right away. Same thing with Patrick Johnson. Going to just give us that depth on that defensive line. This trade, they didn't love. Again, we got some 2022. Okay, that's fine. Another tool for our boy. They don't like it, but whatever. Again, this is a great trade. I don't know why they gave it a B. They should have at least given it a B+. All right, Deontay Brown, again, guard out of Alabama, good pedigree, going to come in and compete for a roster spot. McGrone, again, kind of the same thing. They don't love it. They don't think it's a need, but we're looking for that value. Now, we continue to do that, as you can see, with Brevin Jordan. Again, I don't know if that guy's even going to make the roster, but he could be special, so we're going to put him in the tight end room. We're going to see what we can come up with. Same thing here. Rodarius Williams is going to press for playing time right away. Sherwood, we got to see what positions he's going to play, but again, he's going to compete. Kylan Hill's going to be that backup running back. Carlos Hyde probably hitting the street before July 1. And then Raymond Johnson III, again, another developmental guy at that defensive line. So he's going to come in and give us depth right away, and then obviously, hopefully be a long-term outstanding starter for us. And then, again, traded 5th and 6th round picks for pick number 148, which, again, makes a ton of sense. Just getting draft capital. A overall, least shocking thing ever. I'm just out here making moves. We're making teams better. Jacksonville Jaguars, are they winning a Super Bowl in 2021? No. Did they pick up a bunch of starters and players that are going to be good, stinking players? Absolutely. So this is the 2021 Jacksonville Jaguars mock draft, brought to you by me, the People's GM. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Again, we're going to be going live on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern to give our feedback on the draft as it happens, point out all the mistakes GMs are making and what we would have done instead. Feel free to tune in. And then next couple weeks, of course, we'll be doing some recaps of what teams actually do, where they screwed up, where they hit home runs, etc. So again, this is the People's GM. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.